Hi, thanks for watching Razzle. Today I'm reviewing Entourage. Entourage, yep, based on the TV show from 2004 to 2011. It's written and directed by Doug Ellen. Stars a cast from the TV show, so I'm not going to go through all the names. But yeah, let's get this thing started. Before I get started, I'm actually going to quickly say I've never watched the TV show. I've actually never watched any episode of it ever. Didn't even look anything up about it. I kind of want to go into it blind, so I just want to put that on the table right away that I'm reviewing it as someone who's never seen the show before. Okay, so Entourage, basically it's about a guy named Vincent Chase. He's an actor. He's pretty successful in Hollywood. He's trying to get a movie started. He wants to... He was asked to lead act in the movie, but he wants to also direct it. His producer has a problem with it, but you know, he lets it happen because he has a lot of faith in him. He has this whole group of friends that are kind of along for the ride, and that's kind of the plot of the movie, pretty much. It's pretty much the plot. At the same time of that going on, you have all of his entourage, like his posse, his friends. They all kind of have their own subplots going on with a lot of cameos and stuff. Overall, the plot is just has a lot going on. It has the overarching, it has like all these different subplots from all these different characters, but also has kind of following along the overarching narrative that is what I explained earlier. The movie kind of just feels like a prolonged episode of the TV series. It doesn't really have all that much conflict. It isn't all, the plot overall just isn't all that surprising. It isn't all that compelling. It's kind of predictable and it's not really all that interesting. The subplots also just kind of small, not really all that interesting. Adrian Grenier plays Vincent Chase. He's supposed to be like the main character of the movie. He's like the lead actor. It's basically kind of carrying his friends along with him. Unfortunately, he just doesn't get that much screen time. He's just, you know, he's in the movie, but like, you don't really get any development of the character. He's just kind of there. He's just kind of pushing the plot along, but he doesn't get like as much in-depth, like you don't really get much of an in-depth look at him like you do even some of the other people in his entourage. They also in the movie, he's dating Emily Ratajkowski, who's a gorgeous model. Also has done a couple of acting things. She was in Gone Girl. They kind of have him dating her, kind of, but it like doesn't. They don't develop. It just kind of is happening. They're like, you know, he's just dating a super hot model. Like that's basically all the in depth of that relationship is, because they don't even think they probably have like 2 or 3 scenes together, but it's just kind of happening, and it's just, I don't know. It just didn't really work for me. One of the surprises of the movie actually was Kevin Dillon's character Drama. I am shocked that I thought he was gonna, like in the trailers and when I've seen the TV show, I was always thinking like, oh, this character's gonna be so annoying. He's gonna be so annoying, and I'm not interested in him. But actually, he was by far, like by a landslide, the absolute deepest character in the movie. And that's not like a slight, actually. He was actually well developed in the movie. In the movie, basically, he goes through a lot in the movie, a lot of problems going on in his life. He's got a lot going on. You see like the conflict of like his older brother Vincent is so famous and he's not. And you see like these levels of these problems he's having, and it's interesting, and it gives him a lot of really interesting layers, and you see his loyalty kind of push through. So actually, I thought he was actually a pretty good character. I didn't think he was particularly too funny. I thought he was a little annoying sometimes, but I actually thought he was actually probably the deepest and most interesting character that I had me rooting for. Despite all that, I still don't think he was the best character. In my opinion, the best character in the movie was the producer, Ari Gold, played by Jeremy Piven. This guy was, I think, probably one of the only funny parts. Like one of the parts that actually made me laugh was watching him. He's kind of like he's the producer, and he's like kind of like a father figure kind of to Chase. He's like really kind of like, he's got this like charisma to him. He like every time he's on screen, he just takes the screen. Like every time he's on screen, you're always watching him because he's so funny and electric. Like he's got a crazy great charisma on screen. He's got a couple of really great lines with because he's like stressing out, but he's like, because of all the work he does, it kind of gives you an insight of like, you know, being a producer in films, and you know, and that kind of thing is a stressful business. And you can see like it's a little exaggerated, but you see like his like everything kind of coming out and like him just going nuts, and it's kind of fun to watch. The other characters weren't all that interesting to me. I would have liked to have seen more, but I think if I watched the TV show, if I was a fan of the TV show, it would have worked for me more. But, you know, they just didn't. It was just stuff going on that I didn't really care much for at all. Also, with those characters that are, like, thrown into, like, these weird, like, relationships, all of them, like, are thrown into these, like, relationships in the movie that aren't well developed at all, so it just kind of feels, like, fake and artificial. Unfortunately, like, all, like, besides, like, the group, the people on the show, they have great chemistry. They have fantastic chemistry throughout the film. Unfortunately, everyone else's chemistry, like with the cameo, there's a ton of cameos, like a lot of cameos, but all those felt so artificial and fake and robotic, and it was unfortunate because they just didn't feel real. And that's kind of, I mean, sometimes they were kind of fun, but for the most part they were really bad. Yeah, just the relationships that they try to kind of put together don't really work, and it's just everyone else, just the chemistry just wasn't working for me. Overall, movie is a good time. I thought it was a really good time. I had some fun with it. It wasn't the funniest movie by any means to me. I didn't find it all that funny, to be honest, at all. The plot had a lot going on, but I think, honestly, I actually had a fun time watching it because they have such great chemistry in the group. Between each other. I actually kind of had fun with it. So I guess overall I'm going to give Entourage a 6 out of 10. I think that's pretty fair. What I would say though is to this: if you are a fan of the show, if you've watched all the episodes, or if you've watched just a couple episodes, go see it. The movie is made for you, and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it more than I did because you already know like the characters. It's building up. It's like almost like watching like the series finale of the show is what it feels like to me. Is what it kind of felt more like than an actual film. If you are kind of interested in it and have never watched the show, I'd recommend, instead of going to see it in the theaters, I would recommend maybe renting the episodes, watching the episodes, and then renting the movie or buying the movie if you really enjoy the show. That's what I would say. I guess that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Havens. I just reviewed Entourage. Go check out some of our other reviews. We have some great reviews. Zach and Alan have been doing a lot of great stuff as well. We're also going to try to do some more stuff in the future. That's really it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, you know the deal. All right. Bye-bye.